So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you three daily habits that really have changed my life and helped me become more productive. And if you want to hear about those habits as well as in general, like regardless of which habits you're building, how to make those habits stick, then this is a video you want to watch. So grab a pen, grab a paper, grab your tea and come and watch this video because I'm going to be sharing a lot with you today. Hey there bosses, you're welcome to my channel once again. If this is your first time on this channel, I am Jean Ontra. I'm the author of Win at Freelance Writing, How to Make Your First $1,000 to $5,000 as a Freelance Writer. Links below. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. All right, so let me start talking about the three daily habits that have really helped me be productive and also that really have changed my life. Okay, so the very first one on the list is exercise. This year I turned 37 and I've always been a very active person just as a rule, but one thing that I really realized was lacking in my life was just a daily routine of exercise, right? And so I decided that since this is the year I was turning 37, 3 years from 40, that I was really going to incorporate just the practice of daily exercise into my life. Now, yes, there was some kind of goal to lose some weight, to get more fit, but it has paid off in more ways than just those two goals. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of research out there that shows that exercise does release chemicals in your brain known as endorphins, and these endorphins react with certain receptors inside of your brain to give you this sense of well-being and accomplishment. And so really, to be honest, it's true. Okay, every time I'm done working out, every time I'm done exercising, I feel so good. And what do? I don't do anything strenuous. I walk 3 miles a day. I walk/run 3 miles a day. And just doing that about 5 to 6 times a week has ended up being such a great way for me to start my day. And when I start my day with a sense of accomplishment, like, wow, you just walked and ran 3 miles, it apart from the endorphins making me super happy and excited that I completed that task, it also motivates me to keep on doing tasks throughout the day. It keeps me more awake, more alert. My mind is more clear because I'm excited to tackle the day. So no matter what's going on in my life now, I have built that habit where no matter what, between 5 and 6 times each week, I am taking to the streets of my neighborhood and just doing my 3 miles per day. Some days I'll hit 3 miles, some days I'll hit more than that, some days I'll hit 2 miles. But the point is to get out there and get that exercise in. I do some strength training as well. And once I get that exercise in, it just really sets me up to have a very happy and productive day. Even if I don't do very much that day, definitely the most important things on my to-do list get knocked off because I'm motivated to do this stuff. So exercise has really helped me in terms of, the fitness aspect, but it has also really helped me with my mindset and motivation to get things done throughout my day. The second habit that has made me productive and really has changed my life is scheduling. So I've done a few videos on this channel where I talk about using Google Calendar as well as using my paper planner to plan out my week so that I'm more productive. Now that exercise alone is very motivating. All right, because when I sit down and I look at what I have to do for the week, so I try to sit down like once a week and then write out what I need to do for the week. At the beginning of the month, with using my paper planner, I sit down and think, okay, what do I want to achieve by the end of this month? And then I, extrapolate that into the different weeks and then break that down into the different tasks for each day. And so really doing that and seeing an overview of my week is super helpful. Now, I will tell you this. A lot of the time people think that if they set up a plan for their week or they set up a plan for their month, then if they don't do every single thing on the list, then they're failures. This is not true. This is not true. I personally aim to do 3 to 5 things per day that will help move my business and my career forward. Okay, this I limit it to 3 to 5 things, because if it's more than that, I get overwhelmed, and then it's it's analysis paralysis. I just don't do it. So I limit it to 3 to 5 things. Now, I try to get the most important things on that list done. And so at the end of the day, I do review my calendar and see, okay, what got done today and what can be moved to tomorrow, right? And fit into something else. And sometimes some things, 1 or 2 things, will move into the next day, and that's okay, as long as by the end of the week, I've gotten 80 to 90% of the things on my list done. I'm okay. Now, if you can get 100% of the things done, that's okay too. But I want you to realize that life happens to all of us, right? Sometimes I'm in the midst of doing something and my son needs my attention. Sometimes, my husband's asking me about something. Sometimes I will receive a phone call that needs to be picked up, because you can't ignore all the phone calls. And so because of that, it really is important to be flexible with yourself. So yes, I create a plan for myself for the month, for the week, that allows me to be productive. It allows me to get things knocked off my list, especially because I am a writer. I do have clients, they do have deadlines, and so I need to submit work to them. So I try to keep that in mind as I work throughout the week. But I also don't make it such that I'm strangling myself and stressing myself out over things I wasn't able to do. So that's why I think that it's really important that's why I find it very important to front load my week with the most important tasks. Because as the week progresses, by Friday, I'm too tired. So I do the things that are going to require more energy of me. I do them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's why I like to record my videos on Mondays, because on Mondays, I'm coming off of Sunday where I rested. I had a really good day on Sunday, church and all that. So I feel good. I rested. And so on Mondays, I am energized to get started. And so I'll record my videos on Mondays. If I was waiting till Fridays to record my videos, I'd never upload on this channel. All right. So taking that into consideration and realizing that it's important that you get the most important things on your list done. And if you don't get every single thing done, don't punish yourself. But I do find that using a planner is super helpful for my sanity and my productivity. The third habit that has helped me be productive and also that really has changed my life is self-education. And that means either listening to a podcast, watching videos, taking a course, reading a book. For me, I try every single day, whether that's 10 minutes or an hour, because some days I have more time, some days I just don't have enough time. So whether it's 10 minutes or it's 1 hour, I do set aside time every day to self-educate. And the reason I picked up this habit was because way back when I started, I read a book called The Armchair Executive, I think it's called, by Carrie Wilkerson. I'll leave a link and maybe I'll leave a photo somewhere here. But anyway, in this book, I learned about somebody called Zig Ziglar. I would learn later that he is a popular motivational speaker. He passed away not too long ago. And Zig Ziglar said he would read for 3 hours every single day, because in that 3 hours, if he found even one idea that could help him move his business and life forward, it was worth reading for those 3 hours. Now, not everybody has 3 hours, but you do have 10 minutes, you do have 5 minutes, you do have an hour, and we live in a time and a day where we have access to platforms like Udemy and Skillshare, YouTube, where you can get a lot of content for free, a lot of content for fairly cheap that will help you move ahead. And so really setting aside that time has moved me forward a lot. Last week I just took a course on Instagram stories. I've been using Instagram stories for more than 2 years, but I found it necessary to go and learn how to use Instagram stories to sell, for instance. And it's really helping me because I'm already seeing results. So you always have to think of, what am I doing now? And before I even give you this tip, let me say something. So sometimes people can self-educate to their own hurts. Let me explain what I mean. What I mean is that you can read books, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch videos and not take action. That's bad too. That's why I always balance it. And these days I don't have as much time, but I'm always balancing it with the things I need to do in my business to move me forward, or the things I need to do to generate income in my business and my career. All right. So that self-education is absolutely important, but it shouldn't supersede, it shouldn't overshadow you actually taking action. Okay, so that's absolutely important. But self-education has been massive for me. It's the reason why I started a blog from scratch, and at a point built it to about 20k visits per month. It's the reason I started this YouTube channel, and even though this YouTube channel is not huge yet, right, I have, as I'm recording this video, I have almost 1,600 subscribers. It's the reason why people have bought my books, right? I have a book, When at Freelance Writing. If I didn't self-educate, I wouldn't know how to write that book. I wouldn't know how to publish it. I wouldn't know how to even do a book launch. I wouldn't know how to do it. So really spending that time, whether it's 10 minutes or an hour to self-educate, has been invaluable to my life. Okay, so now let's really talk about how to make these habits stick, right? Because that's the thing. Because a lot of us do start out, and I know this has happened to me too, but a lot of us do start out and then we falter or we fail at some point. And then because we falter and fail, we're like, I don't want to go pick it up again. But here's what I want to challenge that a little bit. That sticking to a habit doesn't mean you won't fail. Let's just be honest. There are days where you may not feel motivated. There are times where you're not feeling well. There are times where it's just not possible because life, right? Hashtag life. So I do think that once you take, and I realized that once I took that into consideration, it made me less harsh on myself, because a lot of us judge ourselves so harshly when we fall off the wagon. And I say to that, I say, if you find yourself falling off the wagon of a habit that you were trying to build, pick it right back up and start going. Now, the way to make you more consistent with a habit is really to make it, like, if you think about brushing your teeth, some of us brush our teeth without even thinking, right? We wake up in the morning and we go, and it's just an automatic action. It's taking us years and years from when we were children to get to that point. So don't think a habit is going to just take you overnight to build. It takes time, but it happens one step at a time. And the way that I have found to be really effective for me is, first of all, you can join habits together, or you can conjoin them. That's the best way I can describe it. And what do I mean? What I mean is, most of the time, whilst I am on my walk, on my 3-mile walk, I'm also listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm listening to a sermon, right? Like, I have coupled those two habits together, so that because I walk 3 miles, it also means that in that 1 hour where I'm walking 3 miles, I'm either listening to a book, I'm listening to something that will really, really help me in my life, right? So it makes it much easier to stick to it, because I know that, oh, this triggers that, this action triggers that action. So couple some of your habits. If you want to get, really, really consistent with taking your vitamins, for instance, right? Then maybe couple that with, okay, as soon as I brush my teeth, I take, my vitamins and my water is right there, I'm going to take it. So you couple that action with brushing your teeth, for instance, or you decide that, like me, you're gonna do your exercise, and that's the time when you're going to listen to your audiobook. So couple them. And actually, I learned about this in a book known as Atomic Habits by James Clear. Highly recommend. Really, really good book on building habits. Couple the habits. If you couple the habits together, it's likely that you will get it done. Another trick to sticking with your habits is to tell yourself you're already that thing. What do I mean? What I mean is, for instance, if you want to write 1,000 words a day, right? Who are the people that write 1,000 words a day? Writers. So You have to tell yourself you are a writer. And when you tell yourself you are a writer, it's kind of like, back engineering it or reverse engineering it. You say, I'm a writer, and what writers do, writers write. So today I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write 500 words, I'm gonna write 1,000 words, and I'm gonna do it uninterrupted and unedited. And that's a tip I give to new writers is set a timer for 30 minutes, sit down and just write. Right? And when the timer goes off, go do whatever else you want with your life. But at least for 30 minutes, you and that timer and that keyboard and that sheet, you're going to go at it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be pretty. But at the end of 30 minutes, you will have something written down. I always say you can edit. You can edit something that's imperfect, but you can't edit a blank page. Okay, so sit down, set the timer, and go at it. So tell yourself that. I remember when I really wanted to start running, one of my friends was like, well, just tell yourself you're a runner. What do runners do? They run. So when you get out there, just start running. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be for long, but you ran. Okay, you ran for 2 minutes. That's pretty good. You the next day run, you're gonna run for 3 minutes. So really, it's important to see yourself as the thing. I know it sounds a little out there almost, but really it works. You're the thing. You're the writer. You're the runner. What do they do? Reverse engineer that, and then find time every single day to do that thing. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. I have a question for you. What habits are you working on and how is it going? Let me know in the comments below.